back at it, back at the junkyard. The track day was absolutely amazing. I had so much fun, and Travis did too, and hanging with Juan, all of us, it was so much fun. But what I really learned about my car at the track day is that it really, really suffers from the transmission. The engine is the engine, you know, it's the D series. And like I've been telling you guys, I need to stick with that D series at the minute because my money is going towards wheels, tires, and suspension first. And as you all know, that costs money, man. The biggest gains that my car is gonna make at the moment is through wheels, tires, and suspension. But like I said, the transmission, when I was out there, man, I was second gear almost the whole way. And I would hit third going down the straight to get up to about 80 miles an hour. And then bam, heel toe right back into second to go into turn one. Travis was telling me, you know, he's out there hitting the top of third. He's second, third all throughout that track. And I'm like, wow, man, like my car could not do that. So anyway, what I'm getting to is that I really want to get a different transmission in the car. And the best transmission that I could get would be either a Y8 transmission from like a 98 year Civic EK, or the SI transmission, or the EX, you know, it's from a D16 Z6, something like that, from the EG years. So I'm at the junkyard and that's what I found. Here is the Del Sol that I found. It has a D16 Z6 in it. Sorry, my shadow. D16 Z6. And here is the S20 transmission. And what I am looking for on the numbers, see if I can slide y'all in here or not. What I am looking for is right up in here. Let me zoom, get this out of the way. See those numbers there? Or the letters and numbers, P20 and B000. That's what I'm looking for. That's the identifying mark of this transmission. I'll put the chart up on the screen here. The biggest difference between this transmission and the CX transmission, I think really comes down to the final drive. Because first gear is actually the same on both of these. Second gear, however, is better on this transmission, on the B000 transmission from the SI model. Second, getting into third, like second is gonna go by so much quicker. When I was out there, it was like, you know, in the CX. This one is gonna rev up so much faster, put me in the power band so much quicker. Oh my God, I can't even wait. I really just hope that this all works. The sketchy part about this is that I'm pulling it out of a car from the junkyard. Who knows why the car ended up at the junkyard, you know? There's all those kind of what ifs. But the transmission here only costs me $75. And for that price, I gotta try it. If anything, I could take it back and they give me a store credit. So for me, it's still worth it, even if it doesn't work. Yes, it would be a lot of work and all that heartache if it didn't work. But again, to me, it's still worth it. If this thing just works, and it seems like it does, like the shifter's in here, and I'm sitting here shifting this thing, and it seems to be doing just fine. At least as it's just sitting, it stays in every gear. You know, we'll have to see it once it's actually moving. Ah, man, so Travis is on his way. I'm gonna start clearing up the engine bay, like moving the wiring harness and stuff, and then we're gonna start doing the heavy lifting once he gets here. What I'm actually gonna be doing here while I'm waiting for Trav is just start disconnecting this wiring harness. Thankfully, Juan and I had so much practice doing this that I'm confident I can just get this off and all out of our way so that when he gets here, we can just start buzzing the bolts off this thing with the impact gun. This guy showed up. Hey! It's Trav.
It's me.
So he brought some tools to do, well, you're gonna get started on the axle nut.
Axle nut and get the axle out of the way on that side.
So he's gonna start working on that. I'm gonna keep clearing the engine harness and then all the little accessories that are attached to the transmission. And let's get to it. Yeah, I brought the muscle.
Yeah. This isn't an impact socket, but I don't care. So don't tell me nothing about it.
Internet.
All right, hold on to your net.
Yep.
Yeah, I still gotta, I thought I cleared this, but I have to, it's keeping it from turning.
You still gotta knock that loose a bit.
Yeah.
I've got the wire harness for what we need anyway. All the harness stuff out of the way. I took the air box out, so we got a nice clear workspace here. The little bleed nipple for the hydro, where the hydro connects up. Just got my 12. Take these, break these bolts loose down here. You gotta disconnect this thing off of the trans.
Got it. We had to disconnect a few things, but ultimately to get the hub to be at the right angle, we took out the steering rack because the steering
wheel's locked.
So now we have free play with this, and we can pull out hopefully the axle. More nuts.
Try the other way. Alright, so the plan now is we're just going to start to drop the transmission because the axle is kind of stuck in there. The steering column is locked, and this the proper way to do it by removing the cotter pin and then smashing the LCA out is not working for us, and we don't have any jacks or anything to be able to go ahead and jack it up and then get it out of the way. So plan is just to drop the transmission and then we'll pull the axle out that way.
Strip this.
Right, it's starting to lean. So let's try to get the axle out.
Not dramatic at all.
Not dramatic at all.
But it's loose.
Okay.
Rob is under the car undoing the shift linkage. So when we drop the tranny, it all just falls away from the car.
Don't knock that wheel, son. It's a little sketchy under here. Just to give you guys a shot of what I'm doing down here. Shift linkage. Leave the engine up front. There you go. Follow the shift linkage back. And these are 12s up in here. Hitting something that's welded to the frame here. We're just getting the top, or I think it's 6 transmission bolts. We're getting those off right now. Trav just got the one that was a 14, and now I'm working on one that's a 17 up on the top here. And it looks like this other one in the back is gonna be a 17 as well. Sorry, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but okay. Yep, 19. That's a big boy right there.
Did you get it?
Yeah. Might as well change the whole engine while we're at it. My goodness. You take the mounts off, all the wire harness, air box.
There's oil on all these bolts.
Yeah, you see there's oil all over, kids. Not because of the transmission, but because of that nice hole in the oil pan for D16 Z6. Alright, so that one out, that one out. Top, we got this one out, and there's one down in there we got out. And there's one more right up. Sorry guys, it's really hard to maneuver with this freaking camera under here. One right up in here, right there. We're gonna take that out, and then it should be coming free. There it goes.
Got it.
Sorry the camera fell, guys, but we got it.
We got it, finally.
Day 2, and we won.
We won.
I was so happy to get that thing out, and Trav actually noticed it. We had missed one bolt up top. Yeah, we're stupid, hey, but
the dumbest. But this is our first transmission pull. So.
Right, we've never done this. We were just saying, like, wow, can you imagine 2 years ago? Like, we could never even think of pulling a transmission in a car. So
right.
We're proud of ourselves. We got it done. There was one bolt we missed because there was
bracket.
Yeah, one of those brackets that holds some of the wire harness on it.
O2 sensors, and like it just covered the whole.
Bolt.
So we couldn't even see it.
So we were starting to wedge it. We finally got the screwdriver in. We were starting to wedge it apart, and it was just holding at that one point. So it was pretty obvious to see then the bolt was still in there. So we took that out, dropped the transmission, no problem. So here it is in all its glory. Right now we're going to be taking the shift linkage out. Going to go ahead and remove that because I've already got it in the EG. Obviously going to be cleaning that thing up. And Trav and I are talking about kind of what steps do we take now. I'm also going to be taking the clutch and pressure plate, the clutch disc and pressure plate out of this car because here at the junkyard it's going to cost me $11. And this thing was already hooked up. Or like the clutch and the shifter was hooked up when I got here yesterday. So it felt totally fine when I was shifting it, and Trav pressed the clutch, it felt nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it because the one in the EG, it's really kind of for me. It's weird. It all happens at the very front of the throw, yeah, would you say?
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's weird. So I want to change it. It's definitely worth the money. But we have to go get a little tool, one of those star spline deals, to get the clutch pressure plate off. So anyway, we're happy. We got the transmission. Now we got the star spline socket. I'm going to go ahead and start getting the clutch pressure plate off. Clutch and pressure plate. There's the gaping hole from winch we took. But that does it for this Del Sol. Really appreciative of it. I hope the transmission just works. Everything is great. I already bought it. The guy told me up front that there is a 30-day warranty, so if it doesn't work out, I can just take it back. Although heartbreaking that would be, I could take it back and at least get my money back. But I hope it just works. I hope it's great. So yeah, thank you, Del Sol. Here it is. You can see it's definitely filled with a lot of grease. Trav and I were thinking that maybe the main seal on the engine that this came off of, it was busted and some oil was leaking into this housing here. What I'm gonna be doing right now, just cleaning this thing up, and then gonna be ordering some parts. I need to change out the pilot bearing, the throwout bearing, get some grease, and I'm also thinking I'm gonna change the rear main seal on the D-Series that's in the car. I got the clutch and the clutch pressure plate that I'm gonna be putting on. I'm right there, you know, so I'm thinking I'm just gonna go ahead and take the flywheel off, change out that rear main seal because I am sure that it is leaking in my car. That's a big problem with the oil leak that I have. And you know I don't have to do it, but I think it would be good. I would feel better about it knowing that all my oil is staying in the freaking car. So I think that's gonna really help. That's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and start cleaning this guy up. Alright, got everything sealed up, just newspaper and where the axle would go. This is covering the vehicle speed sensor, and then other side where the axle would go down there. Now I got my purple power. I'm gonna go ahead and spray and leave it in all this. Go ahead and shoot some on in there. I'm gonna let it cover all that and sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it up. You can definitely see a lot of the grease coming out. I want to just get all the main nasty out of there, and thankfully a lot of it's coming up. I'm gonna go ahead and actually take out these newspapers here, and I'm gonna stuff it with some paper towel in there. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and stuff some of this plastic bag in there on top, and then I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this with the hose after I put a bit more purple power on it, and then also do the outside. There's the axle opening, got my bag, literally just stuff this thing on in there so that it's gonna seal it up real nice. You can get that out with some pliers or something like that if you need to. I've already pulled it out once. And then some paper towel. Go ahead and wad that up. Stick it in there too, so that it's nice and sealed up. And went ahead and did the same on the other side. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy off for the speed sensor. I'll cover that up with a bag. Plastic bags stuffed in, covering the speed sensor, any electronical thing. And then the other axle part. Take the purple power, go ahead and shoot it all. Cover it real good. I'm gonna let it sit for maybe 5 minutes or so, and I'm gonna blast it with the hose. Okay, you can already see some of the junk dripping off. After the one round of purple power and the hose. So I think it definitely looks a heck of a lot better than it did. And really, you know, the main point of me doing this is so that it's just not a big pile of grease when I go ahead and put it in the car. You know I can get this thing to be like a show level quality, but that's not why I'm doing it. I think it looks pretty good for what it is. You know, that you can touch it now and you don't get full of grease. I'm happy. I'm gonna move it into the sun over here so that it can dry up a bit better, and then clean up these two rods, the stabilizer and the shift linkage, and then it'll be ready. That's the episode for today. Got the transmission, finally. Pulled it out, cleaned it up, looks good. Next thing you're gonna be seeing is me getting the EG prepared, meaning that I'm gonna be taking out the old transmission. I don't know how far I'm gonna get in that process without Trav's help, but I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the wiring harness, get everything as ready as I can before needing his help. 2 hands to get the old transmission out, put the new one back in. So we'll see what happens, but thank you all so much for watching as always, and stay tuned, we got more to come.